Hi everybody, I'm Mary Grace Lewandowski. I'm a company vice president with Park Lane Jewelry, and I'm very proud to work for this company. And somebody asked me to put together just a 30-minute video on why you too would love to pursue a career with Park Lane Jewelry. So why? Why is one of the first questions that we ask when we're considering any kind of venture. Why would you want to start your own business in general? And there's various reasons why people start their own business. Many of them want to do it for the extra income. Some people are looking just to get out and meet new people. Sometimes you just want something of your own. You may want to just grow as a person, and I've always said that our business, being an entrepreneur, is like a growth plan with a profit plan. Perhaps you are just a huge jewelry wearer and you want to support your Park Lane habit, and the most inexpensive way to buy Park Lane jewelry is to be a rep. Maybe you want to travel, and you've heard that we have all kinds of neat travel trips every year. And maybe you're looking for the tax write-offs. And I do want to just elaborate on some of these reasons really quickly. Extra income can be anything from grocery money to a car payment to just your own mad money to making a few $100,000s a year. We have it for all of you, wherever you want to go with this business. Meeting people, I really like to talk about that one because, quite honestly, when I first started this business, that served a need for me. I was a second grade teacher, I have 4 kids. I was spending so much time with children that I just wanted some grown-up time, and I thought, who can fault me for being out with the women, but also making money and running a business while I did so? It was really good for me. And that kind of takes us into something of your own. Very often as you become a wife or a mother, you kind of lose a little piece of yourself. And it's really neat to have something of your own with your own goals and your own reasons for doing so. You do grow as a person when you're an entrepreneur because there's so much to learn that you would never even realize as you get into the world and you deal with people. One of the things I always like to elaborate on a little bit is the tax write-offs, because lots of people of means sell Park Lane jewelry, first because they love the product, but also because they're smart. And they're smart because one of the fastest ways to become rich in America is to open your own business because of the tax write-offs. And what I mean by that is, like, on the way to work today, your cell phone was an expense. But after you watch this video and you decide to sell Park Lane, now your cell phone is a write-off. Your gas can be a write-off. Portions of your house can be a write-off. So without even changing very much, except for the idea that now you're going to run your own business, you'll have all kinds of tax write-offs. So don't be too quick to say no to a business like this because the advantages are huge. Now, when you're looking into any business, there are some, we call them like the P's, like there are P's that you want to look into. And one of the P's that you want to look into is people. Why is Park Lane great from the people standpoint? Well, first of all, we're family owned, which is absolutely wonderful, and they treat us like family. The Levine family runs our business. We're currently in our 60th year. This company started 60 years ago by Arthur and Shirley Levine. They were a 16 and 18-year-old married couple. They decided that they wanted to start their own business, and so it began. In the whole 60 years of business, we have never gone backwards. We have always made money. Sometimes it might have been just a little teeny tiny bit of growth in any given year, but we've always gone forward, which is a really important fact for you to know. We have a A+ on the Better Business Bureau, and we are very highly thought of everywhere out in the field. Just mention the word Park Lane and people go nuts because we've been around now. We're in our 3rd generation. One of the reasons that I found Park Lane absolutely just a phenomenal opportunity that I felt like I couldn't pass up is we're in a very unusual situation because we've been around for 60 years. We're cash rich. We're not only just debt free, we're cash rich. So they pay cash for everything. That means we know we're going to get paid. We know the jewelry houses are going to want to work with us. We know that we have stability. But in many ways, we're kind of like a 13-year-old company. And the reason is because in 2002, Arthur and Shirley decided it was time to sell the business to the 2nd generation. So they sold the business to 3 of their sons. And the 3 sons decided at that time that they needed to make 2 pretty major changes. They were very proud of the legacy that their parents had left them with. There were many, many, many great things about Park Lane, their programs and stuff that we're going to go into a little bit. But they felt that there were two things that as the younger generation they needed to change immediately. One of which is in 2002 they decided to get computers, and everybody this blows their mind because they can't even picture that up until that time Park Lane was running a business with no computers. So they decided to get computers, and people could enter shows online and all that good stuff. It was huge, as you can imagine. The other thing that they did that was really powerful is they used to have a rule that you were not allowed to recruit or basically hire anyone who didn't live within 50 miles of a really great trainer. Now, in Shirley and Arthur's day, when they first started in 1955, there was a really good reason for that rule. This company was like their 9th child. They had 8 kids. This was their 9th. And they were bound and determined that they were going to be successful and they were going to build a really great reputation. They did not want people just buying a kit or getting a kit, not knowing what they were doing, and going out into the world and falsely or poorly representing their company. So they had a rule that you were not allowed to start this business unless you lived within 50 miles of a really strong trainer. Well, if you can picture this, that was important in that day, but as time went by, like right now, you guys could be in Timbuktu for all I know. I know there's some of you from Australia, and you are definitely not within 50 miles of me. So the world has changed, and we're able to train and reach people in so many different ways that in 2002, the guys that took over the company decided that this needed to change. So they lifted that rule. Since 2002, we have had, in the beginning, I don't want to exaggerate, but for a while there, double-digit growth every single month for quite a while during the time of that company. I personally started 5 years ago. I started at the height of the recession, and it was just phenomenal growth time for Park Lane and for all of us. We were doubling every single month. So the reason that I tell you this little history about the people is because I think that's a major reason why you want to choose Park Lane as your business, because we have all of the security of a cash-rich, well-established company. We know we're going to get paid. We know the programs are solid. We know they have enough inventory. Basically, we know that they know what they're doing, and nothing's going to change for the worst. But it's like the advantages of a brand new startup company. And real startup companies generally have like a 97% fail rate. They generally very rarely make it through their 3rd year. And we know that Park Lane has already made it through 60 years, and yet we get all the advantages of being this new generation out there in the world spreading the word of Park Lane. So if you had never heard of Park Lane before, what I just described to you is the reasons why. So the people are awesome. Scott Levine is our CEO, Arthur Levine is our money man, and Mark Levine is our operating guy. And really basically all family members that work at the home office, they keep really, really slim margins. All of them have like 3 to 5 jobs, and they give 78% back to the field, which is unheard of. The closest direct sales company gives something like 38% back to the field. So we definitely have the best paid and the best programs. The other thing whenever you're looking into a company that you want to consider is product. And obviously we're a jewelry company. We sell jewelry. Way back 60 years ago, Arthur and Shirley hired like 3 different consulting companies, and they sent each of those consulting companies out without knowing that they'd hired the others. And they said, go out into the world and come back to us and tell us what you think the best product would be for us to feature. And all 3 of these consulting companies came back with jewelry as their #1 choice. And the reason that they chose jewelry is the reason that we should choose jewelry. First of all, they said, very easy to ship and store. That's phenomenal. From a company standpoint, it's phenomenal because they can pay us more because it doesn't take up a lot of warehouse space to store their jewelry, and it doesn't cost a lot to ship it. That's great because our customers don't pay a lot for shipping, and we don't pay a lot for shipping when we're either getting jewelry from the company or when we're reshipping to different facets of our business. Great. Very easy to store. Again, you already know why that's phenomenal from a company standpoint, but from our standpoint, it's wonderful too, because our jewelry can go in just a little tiny portion of our house or in our own jewelry box, or I keep a lot of it in the trunk of my car because I'm going from showing to showing to showing. So very, very easy to store. And the third one, probably the most important, but it withstands the test of time. Jewelry has been around since people have been around, and before. For all I know, dinosaurs were wearing necklaces. I think Dino did have a necklace on in the Flintstones, yeah. So for all time, jewelry has been very popular and continues to be. So it's actually a consumable product because fashion changes with the times. Fashion changes with the seasons. So fashion changes with the ages. So really, jewelry is a phenomenal business to be in. During times of recession, there's two products that will continue to not only stay the same but go up in sales, and those products are makeup and jewelry. When you walk into a mall, an anchor store in the mall, and you look to either side, what do you see? Jewelry and makeup. And makeup is difficult to sell because you got to talk people out of what they are already using, plus you got to get people willing to take off all their makeup in a setting with friends. Not going to happen, not here. I make them fuzz up these videos. But jewelry is so universal. The other thing is it definitely, it's not necessarily brand specific. Jewelry lovers love jewelry, and they're gonna mix all their jewelry together, okay? And also just from the age-wise, we sell to babies. Well, we don't sell to the babies, but we sell for babies, all the way up to the centennials, if we want to. And one of the compliments that I've gotten about Park Lane Jewelry, we are basically the only full-service jewelry company. And what I mean by that, you'll know what I mean. Most jewelry companies have a niche, okay? Beautiful stuff, most likely, but maybe they're just boutique style, or maybe they're strictly silver, or maybe they're strictly modern and trendy. So they have a certain style with a certain type of designer, and it limits your market. Park Lane has something for everybody, which just makes me so incredibly happy, because regardless of what people's taste is, they are going to find something that they love at Park Lane. Very, very important when you're thinking about a product. Unconditionally guaranteed. I'm not going to say lifetime, because it can be beyond lifetime. And what I mean by that is I tell people you could leave a piece to your daughter, and 30 years from now, she could break it. And we are going to replace it with the same piece if we have it, and we keep a really major, inventory, or something of equal value. We just ask that they keep their receipt, okay? So we're 100% unconditional guarantee. Very, very important. So great product, great guarantee, wonderful to represent. The other thing that you want to look at, the second P that I'm going to talk about, is programs. When you're looking at a company, it's great if you love the product, but if you don't have something special for the customer, if you don't have something special for the hostess, if you don't have something that's going to be a getcha, then that's going to be more difficult to sell. And we have phenomenal programs with Park Lane. First of all, we have a customer buying program. I'm really, really proud of this program because I don't know of any other company that has such a thing. And the customer buying program is threefold, okay? We have 3 different price levels. And the first level is if a customer chooses to spend between $30 and $59 in regular price, then they get to go back and get any item they want valued up to what they spent for $14. Now what's really cool about this is we bundle. We are so used to, as shoppers, having to pay for our more expensive item. With Park Lane, we only like to see people pay for their least expensive items. So 2 pair of $20 earrings, they spend $40. They get any $40 item they want for $14. Get it? It's really cool. Level 2, $60 to $89. At that level, your customer gets to pick 2 items for $14. So we're adding items, but we're also adding tremendous value. 3 pair of $20 earrings, they spent $60. They get any 2 $60 items for $14. So they just added $120 worth of jewelry for 28 bucks. Get it? It's really cool. Biggest level of all, hard not to go there, 90 and over, then it's 3 for $14, okay? So let's do the $20 earrings, and I love to say it like at this time of year, coming up to Christmas, it's like, okay, Let's say you have a book club. There's 5 girls in your book club. You guys have a little limit of $20 a piece. 5 pair of earrings, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Okay, you just bought 5 presents for $100. And that's when you remember, oh, I spent $100. I spent $100 in real money. So now I can go get that $100 necklace for my mom for Christmas for $14. I can get that second $100 thing for my daughter-in-law for $14. And I can get another item that's worth $100 for $14. And when I go home and my husband asks me, how much did you spend on yourself? I can say $14. How cool is that? And very often we'll come in and we'll offer free items. So right now, I guarantee you, they're also getting a 4th item for free at that level. So the programs are phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. As far as the hostess, we have a 5-star hostess program. She gets a thank you gift valued at $100 for $15. She gets $20 free per order, so it doesn't matter what her friends spend. And when we get to 10 orders, we double it. Then it's $40 free per order. So are you hearing me here? This is what I love to say to people. I'm not saying I have to, but don't you think between the 2 of us, we could collect 10 $20 orders? And people say, yeah. I'm like, that's a $200 sale for Park Lane, a $200 sale for me. And you get 40 times 10. You get $400 plus that thank you gift I just told you about. So we're already up to $500 of jewelry for $15, and I'm not even finished yet. They also get half price items, we have hostess only items, and we have a phenomenal booking program. I'm doing this really, really fast because a lot of this is just gonna go right over your head, but I think you're getting the picture that our programs are pretty darn generous. We figured out that with 10 orders and 3 showings that are gonna happen as a result of that first booking, a hostess will pick out almost $1,000 in jewelry. And it can be just a $200 show. It's absolutely ridiculous. The other thing, going back to product, the public wears our product. How wonderful is that for us? They're out there wearing our product, getting compliments, and having people ask them where they got it. And it comes back to us. So many fun things that you can do with jewelry. How about profit and perks? We really care about the profit. And I love to tell you about how we're paid, okay? We start at 30%, and we get paid 30% on every order. So what I love to tell people, if you were sitting right here with me, I'd say, now, based on our customer buying program, what do you think the average order is? And I'd look at your little faces, and most of you would guess too high. Well, actually, in our group, I think our group is something like 150, but let's say 100. So the average order in Park Lane is $100 because of what they've done for us as far as the customer buying program. It really drives that up there. The average show is $1,000 because you've got your 10 people, the 10 orders for the hostess at $100 a piece, $1,000. What does that do for our profit? Drives it up. It's absolutely phenomenal. So the way that I love to put it is even if you're at the starting level with Park Lane and you're gonna start at 30%, you are on the average gonna get paid 30% of $100. So you, on the average, are gonna make $33 per order. Per order, you guys, $33. Now you want me to put that in some words you're really gonna understand? No matter who you are, most likely, if you're looking for a side gig, most places that you would go to get a side gig where you could work it around your own hours or even just work it around what else is going on in your life, you would be making minimum wage. High minimum wage, no matter where you live, would be $9 an hour. So what I love to tell people is I'm like, we make in one order what people generally make in 4 hours at minimum wage in one order. So $33 an order is a really good way to look at what we make here in Park Lane. And the ability to get raises is just astronomical. You bring one person into the business to do it with you, you get a raise, you go to 35%. And all the way up to just halfway through our Money Mountain, you make 40%. All the way up to the capability of making 50% on your orders, which we take you there very, very quickly. And as you develop and hire and build your own little teams, then you make money from those people as well. So it's it really starts to add up how much money you can make. It's really, really fun. We also have really neat perks because aside from getting paid, and we get paid every single week, which we love. Aside from getting paid every week, we have 2 travel trips a year, 1 European, 1 tropical. We have 2 conventions a year, 1 in Las Vegas, 1 in Chicago. We have free jewelry that we earn every single month for the rest of our lives. as jewelry people, the ability to win free jewelry every month. Not only the jewelry that is in the book so that we can build our inventory and stuff, but also special jewelry, like I Bet You Anything. Some of you have been saying, ooh, can I get that bracelet? I wore it on purpose. It's one of my favorites. And this is a piece of jewelry that every so often they run incentive contests just for reps, and they create jewelry just for us, where they only produce enough that only we can earn it and have it. So it makes us feel really special and makes us feel elegant, like we have special things. So that's the profit and the perks. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. You've listened to everything that I've said, and you're thinking, why not? And can I just share one of the success principles with you? One of the success principles is just lean in. One of the things that very successful people do is they don't overthink anything. More is lost by indecision than bad decision. So if you were sitting right here with me right now, I would say, if you got this far and you're not seeing any reason why you wouldn't do this, then let's get started. And that's the question of how. How do I get started? Okay, the first thing that you do is you schedule a showing. Because I tell everyone, I'm like, if you were opening a dress shop tomorrow, what would you do? You're ready to open your dress shop. What would you do? And people are like, I would open the doors and invite people in. And that's exactly what your intro show is. The person that's taking you under their wing, well, like if you were on my team, I would say, I will come in and do your intro show, and you will be the hostess, and everything I do that night will be for you. So it's a really, really cool way to get you up and running, okay? What we recommend that you do is show the jewelry 5 times. You want to be successful. Here's the deal. I want everybody to do Park Lane. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to because it's true. Everybody should try Park Lane, but Park Lane isn't for everybody, okay? But you should try. And one of the only ways that you're going to know whether or not this is for you is to show the jewelry at least 5 times. Get a couple people together 5 times. And what I say is cram it into a 5-week time frame and say, this is what I'm going to do. Because if you do it 5 times, a couple things are going to happen. First of all, you're going to be trained. You're not going to be as nervous anymore. But also your business is going to start to grow and explode. And that's what you want to happen. You know, if you're doing this, another thing that I ask is that you don't say that you're doing this as a hobby. Because if hobbies cost money, but with jobs, we make money. So do this as a job. Even if it's a part-time job or a once every 6-month job, do it as a job. Because I want to see you making money. I don't want to see you spending money. And all that I ask is that after you try Park Lane, that you don't go out into the world and say that it didn't work, because it works. It works. It works when we do. We have absolutely no monthly quotas. You do it as little or as much as you want. Once you've achieved a certain title, you stay at that title. So there really are no negatives as far as starting Park Lane. So that's how you get started, is to set your, can you see this okay? Is to set your intro show date. Now you can open your Park Lane business using one of these options. We take this really, really seriously and try to do our very best to get you as close to no cost startup as we can, okay? So there is a $39.95 registration fee, and then each of us at some time every single year have to pay $50 to get into to have all of the advantage of the order entry system, okay? We actually have an option where you pay your $39.95. You have a $500 intro show, and that $500 intro show pays for your kit. So instead of paying you, Park Lane says, okay, now we're gonna give you a kit. So you can pay the $39.95 registration fee, plus the $50 that you're gonna go in and be able to enter all your shows online and have a $500 show, and you're gonna get a $1,000 standard kit. So this is a standard kit option. We're gonna hand you $1,000 worth of jewelry. In addition to getting your kit, you still get all of the same hostess benefits as a regular hostess. So this is phenomenal. So if nothing else, schedule your intro show. At the end of your intro show, if you decide it's not for you, that's fine, but you still want to have that show because you're going to get all the hostess credit and benefit, okay? That's that. If you go over, no, let me go back. When you go over, because an average show is over $500, when you surpass the $500, you're also going to get a paycheck. So $89.95, you paid your registration fee, you're ready to get online and enter orders, and you have your $500 show, and you get a $1,000 kit and you're in business, and every dollar over the 500, you get a paycheck. Pretty cool, right? Option 2, pay $179.95. Pay $129 for the kit, and then pay your $50 for your website, and that's $179.95. This is actually one of the easiest, cleanest ways to do it, but we wanted to give you an option if you have less money in the bank right now or more cynicism about what's about to happen to you. So you pay the $179.95, and you get paid $1 on that first show that person goes in and does for you. So I could come in and do your intro show, and you're gonna get paid at 30% right off the bat because we paid all of this up front. Again, both of these options are standard kit options. You're gonna get a $1,000 kit. And just a couple years ago, we added a third option. And the reason we added the third option is that some people come into this business and they're just in it to win it. They know exactly what they're gonna do. They are ready to go. They are ready to go 100 miles an hour. So we have something called a presidential kit. And the presidential kit is $500. So basically you're paying for your presidential kit $500, and then you're paying your $39.95 plus your $50. So you're paying $589.95 up front, and you're gonna get a kit worth close to $3,000. So your kit is really, really something. Okay, it's close to $3,000. And then you're just ready to roll. Again, you have your first show, paid $1 on your show. So after you listen to this video and after you take the survey that we've attached, we hope that you'll be I know that you'll be interested in Park Lane, and we can answer all kinds of other questions for you. But the number one thing that you need to know is it's very little cost to get started. You're not alone. We'll come in and do your first showing for you and train you ever after that, as little or as much as you want. The programs are absolutely phenomenal. You have nothing to lose, and I look forward to seeing you soon because I'd love to sell Park Lane with you. Thanks, everybody.